Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Hamii here, bringing you another video to the channel. Today, we're going to be going over one of the most requested videos I've ever had, and it's our top 10 favorite weapons, or just the top 10 best guns in the game. I think it's more just the best guns in general, guns that suit every playstyle, every game mode, and are good in the core playlist. It's going to be a super fast video today, right to the point, no beating around the bush. So if you guys, just saying, these are all my opinions, so you probably will agree or disagree. Let me know down in the comments below if any of these choices that I have today you think are wrong, or some of the guns that I left out. I will be looking down there and be curious to see what you guys think. Also, drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and if you enjoyed the content. So let's go ahead and hop right on into it. Alright, for our first honorable mention here is the AX50 sniper rifle. I had to throw in a sniper rifle on this list because I know Call of Duty is such a sniper-oriented game. There's such a big sniper scene that I just had to add one. What attachments I use on this would recommend is the 17-inch factory barrel, tac laser, variable zoom scope, Guard Arms Assassin, and stippled grip tape. Now what each of these attachments do is just try to decrease the aim down sight speed as much as possible. Every one of these attachments does that, except the variable zoom scope, which just makes it easier to see targets at closer range. Now you can change this out for the VLK 3x optic, which has the fastest aim down sights of any scope for the sniper rifles, if you want even faster aim down sights time. But I know most people like variable zooms, and this is what I'd recommend. Now if you don't like this sniper rifle, I'd use the MK2 carbine for a more aggressive playstyle. And if you're a ground war sniper that sets back, definitely the HDR with every single attachment that increases damage range. That's the snipers that I'd recommend for you to use first. On to number 10. This may be a surprise for some people here. You might not see this one coming. Is the RPG-7. Now this has to be on my top 10 list on this game. This gun is just so unbelievably easy to use, especially on the shipment playlist or ground war when you see people bunched up. Just aim and shoot. Easy kills, absolutely no skill, and it has a giant blast radius that reminds me of similar, not as good to, but similar to Modern Warfare 2. This may be a surprise to some people, but this has to be my number 10. Moving on to number 9 is the PKM LMG. Now, this is a much more oriented for long-range camping gameplay, which is not my style of gameplay, but this gun is very good at. This is why it's all the way down at number 9, but has to make the list. We're going to run Monolithic Suppressor, which keeps you off the minimap if they have a UAV. Keeps you silent, also increases damage range without increasing much aim down sights time. We're going to use the Solo Zero Mini Reflex. This is one of my favorite reflex sights because I think it's better than the iron sights in this gun. I'm going to use the No Stock, which is a common thing for this list. Increases movement speed greatly increases aim down sight speed, but does increase your recoil. Going to use the Snatch Grip here, which increases or decreases recoil and decreases aim down sight speed, but increases movement speed, which will be canceled out significantly by the No Stock. Going to run the stipple grip tape, which is a very common, again, attachment for this list here. Decreases aim down sights and sprint to fire speed, which is a must-have with a gun this big. This gun is much more suited for ground war over 66 maps, so if you're a ground war player that likes to camp for streaks, use this 100-round LMG and you'll be in good shape. Moving on to number 8 is the MP7. I'm not a huge fan of this gun, but I know a lot of people are. So what we use on it is the FSS Strike, which is over the recon. There's not much of a damage increase over these two at range, that's its main thing, and the recoil control is not much more on either one. So the FSS Strike is much more beneficial because the aim down sight speed is better than the recon. So use the Strike over the recon, you'll be in better shape. Going to use the No Stock to just increase mobility and decrease aim down sight speed. Going to use the Merc 4 grip to increase hipfire potential and reduce some of that vertical recoil. Since this gun does have the best hipfire in the game, might as well boost it as much as possible. Going to use a 50-round mag over 60 rounds just to keep movement speed up. None of the magazines have increases to aim down sights time, so don't worry about that. It's all about just the movement speed. So we're going to use the stippled grip tape again just to make this as mobile as possible. Now this gun is very mobile, so if you like to run and gun, this may be the gun for you, but it is very weak on the damage side, so I would probably stick with another one of the submachine guns, which could be coming up in this weapon list. On to number 7 goes to the AK-47. Now, this gun is another great ground war gun if you like to set back or to shoot people at range. It has extreme damage, 3 to 4 shot kill, which is insanely high. This has a slower rate of fire though. One of the slowest ARs in the game, right behind the Odin. Or actually above the Odin. Odin's the slowest shooting. Actually, the Scar H is faster than this. I did not know that. But on this, I'm going to use a compensator to reduce all of the vertical recoil that we possibly can. The Romanian barrel, which has a built-in foregrip. This barrel has the lowest recoil of any of the barrels and the highest damage range, which greatly increases your damage range, which is great for this gun that already has amazing damage at range. I'm going to use again the Solo Zero optic. One of my favorites. Gonna use the skeleton stock, which did get a nerf, but I do think it is still probably better than the no stock, which I do use a lot on smaller maps. But the skeleton stock does increase aim down sight speed significantly and movement speed while aim down sights, just like Stalker from Modern Warfare 3, which is one of the best perks in the game. And we're gonna throw on stipple grip tape just to increase this gun's aim down, decrease this gun's aim down sight speed, which is on the slower side of the assault rifles. So increase that as much as possible, since most of these, except the stock and grip, do increase aim down sight speed. Use that to your benefit. On to number 6 has to go the PP-19 Bison. This gun's absolutely amazing in hardcore, but all of these guns I'm referring to core, and it does have a slower time to kill than some of them, unless you can land headshots. Now, if you're playing Shipment, this is probably the best gun, no matter what, but for other maps, bigger maps, this is lower on the list. We're going to run the monolithic suppressor here to increase the damage range as much as possible on this already very, very strong damage range weapon. We're going to use the 7.7 steel, which increases damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control to its max. It's the longest range barrel for this gun. I'm going to use the tac laser to decrease. I always say that wrong, always will, because I always say increased when things are better. But decrease aim down sight speed, since this gun kind of needs it. It is on the slower side of the submachine guns. Use the Corvus skeleton stock and stipple grip tape. Both of these are just for aim down sight speed. Going to use the Corvus skeleton stock over no stock because for this gun, the no stock does increase the recoil a lot. So the skeleton stock is still very mobile and has a great aim down sight speed. Moving on to number 5, we have the Graul 556. This is a new DLC weapon just introduced in Season 2, and is the SIG 553 Commando. For this, we're going to run the FSS 20.8 Nexus barrel. Now, I run this over the Archangel barrel, just because the aim down sight is better and the damage range is not that much greater on this. So, to just keep your mobility, movement speed up, and good damage range, and a decent amount of recoil control, I'm going to recommend the Nexus barrel. This is very, very similar to the Corvus barrel on the M16. To be frankly honest, this gun's very similar to the M16, just shoots a little bit slower. But this does has an absolutely amazing damage range, so this might be your go-to AR for ground war anymore. I'm going to use the Cornyn Reflex sight, a great sight for all of my weapons I recommend. I'm going to recommend the no stock. This gun has very little recoil. I'm just going to recommend using this for insane movement speed, aim down sight speed. I'm using Merc foregrip just because it's my favorite foregrip in the game. I think it greatly reduces vertical recoil and also increases your hip fire potential, which is always good in close quarter engagements. I'm going to use the XRK Void 2, very, very similar to the stipple grip tape, but it does increase your recoil control. If you can even say that. If you shoot a wall, you won't even notice a real difference with this, to be honest with you. So I use this just to keep your mobile up as possible. This gun, as I said before, has an insane amount of damage range, much greater than the M4. So I'd recommend using this in ground war and using the M4 for closer range engagements. Now getting on into number 4. What? Riot Shield? What? It ain't the Riot Shield. It's the 357 Magnum with snake shot. Now, you might be blowing your mind. This gun got nerfed. This is a pistol. Why is this on your top 10? Why is this number 4? Why is it so high? Well, to be honest with you, you can use this on any single class, and nothing better than this is one of the best shotguns in the game, to be honest with you, and you can run it on any class. So if you run into a building, get in trouble, just whip out the snake shot, 6 easy shots, 6 easy kills with 6 pulls of the trigger. Absolutely amazing. But we use the 357 long barrel on it to increase damage range as much as possible with the shotgun. lightweight trigger. What this does is greatly increases your fire rate, which is a must-have on this to shoot as many shots as quick as possible. This is better than the match grade. If you use the match grade, switch out for lightweight trigger because your aiming stability doesn't matter, and the lightweight trigger shoots significantly faster than the match grade. And of course, you need snake shot, which, if you don't know, basically makes this pistol into a mini shotgun. But mini shotgun's an understatement because it hits just as hard as a normal shotgun, even after the nerfs. Going to use stipple grip tape with this. Now, this attachment, you can use two different ones. You can either use stipple grip tape or the tack laser. What we're using these for is to increase... Bro! I always say it wrong. Decrease your aim down sights time, because you want to have as fast of an aim down sights time as possible with this, due to the fact that this gun is terrible with hip fire, so you always have to aim down sights to greatly increase your range and pellet spread. So either one of those is the way to go. I use stipple grip tape just because I like the decrease to the sprint to fire speed. Just makes it better overall. And you have to have sleight of hand because how slow the recoil or reload is on this 6-shot weapon. But if you're playing ground war and don't care about reload speed, you might be able to run gripple stip tape and tack laser too. Awesome choice. Breaking into the top 3, the best guns in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Gonna have to be the Ram 7 at number 3. Now, this gun is better than the M4 in almost every category. Damage, it has the same damage profile. You get same damage range, but you get a faster fire rate. So its time to kill is faster than the M4, but I don't like the recoil pattern. If you've noticed here, I've shown the recoil pattern after every one of these guns, so you'll know what to expect with each gun to predict the recoil. But I like the M4's up and to the right recoil, since this gun shoots up and to the left almost identically, just opposite. I'm more comfy with the M4. But we're going to use the compensator here, which is one of the best vertical compensating attachments in this game, hence the compensator. We're going to use the Forged Tack Eclipse barrel. Use this over the XRK Ranger because this greatly increases aim down sights and movement speed, which is not good. And the damage range and recoil control are hardly even noticeable compared to the Eclipse. Just the fact that the aim down sight speed is much faster with this barrel, and the movement speed stays normal. Since, as you'll see here, with the Chrono Re optic, always best optic, we cannot take off the stock. The best attachment for almost every gun is the no stock, just because the aim down sights decrease and movement speed increase. Well, the best attachment in the game, but we can't use that for this gun, so we need as much movement speed and aim down sight speed as possible. We use a 50-round magazine since this gun shoots fast. Need all the ammo in the mag that you can possibly get. Then we're going to use stipple grip tape as along with every single one of these guns just to decrease aim down sight speed by 2 frames. Moving on to the top 2. Now, these top 2 can be interchanged. They might be called these a tie for number 1, but I think that these 2 in this order are what most people will agree with. But I have number 2, which is my favorite gun in the game, as the MP5. Now, if you watch any pro play, this is the gun that they use almost 95% of the time. And with the 10mm mag rounds, I do think this is the best gun in the game. That is the exact same fire rate as the M4 and the same damage profile, except with the 10mm mags, it gets even better. So we're going to run the 5mW laser, which increases hip fire potential and sprint speed, which is a great thing to have with a submachine gun. And if you're playing more aggressive or better people, you might want to throw on the 1mm lamp so they just don't see you with a big giant green laser running at you. Now to run the FTAC collapsible stock, which is basically the same as no stock, increases your movement speed greatly and decreases aim down sight speed significantly. All this does for the MP5 does not increase recoil at all, just increases the first 3-shot recoil. So once the first 3 shots are done, it has the same recoil as with any other stock, so why not use it? Running on to the under barrel is a market foregrip. Again, my favorite foregrip in the game. I think it has 2 great benefits, hip fire and recoil control. 2 amazing things for submachine guns. I think this is a no-brainer myself. And stipple grip tape is a must-have on this, just because you want to stay as mobile as possible. Now the 10mm magazine here. This is what makes this gun. It makes it not have a 6-shot kill range. The M4 has a 6-shot kill. So at a certain point, not too far out, it will take 6 shots to kill, along with any of the ARs that shoot the 5.56 round. The Kilo, the FAMAS, the Ram 7, the Graul, and the M4 all have a 6-shot kill range with the exact same damage ranges except the GRU, which is a little bit further, but still has that 6-shot kill range. This gun shoots exactly the same speed as the M4 and takes 1 less shot to kill range. So therefore, if you can hit your shots, this is by far the best gun in the game. Mobile, fast, aim down sights, but it's not as easy to use and consistent as the M4 for most people. So, if you can't guess, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, the M4A1 is the best gun in Modern Warfare. Probably no-brainer. I'm sure everyone saw this coming. If you just haven't died from this thing a billion times, I'd be surprised. But this is our same attachments that we ran in previous videos, which has almost 40,000 views on it. Thank you guys. This is a killer setup. Now, you can set these guns up a little bit differently, but these are the absolute best attachments to use for killing a certain amount of people. Might not be the best for ground war or for dealing with multiple people, but if you want to kill one person the most efficiently as possible, these are your best attachments for all of these guns I've said today. But we use the Corvus Custom Marksman. So it's debate either stock M16 or Corvus barrel. Now I don't see why you wouldn't use a Corvus barrel. It has basically the same range. We're talking feet different here. So I mean, that is not much of a bonus to me. I do think that the aim down sights decrease with this barrel is much more significant over the M16 barrel. Myself, I don't see why I'd use the M16 barrel. That's just me. As for the optic, you can use whatever you want. I use Chrono Reflex. I think it's the best. It seems easy to see through, whatnot. No stock, no brainer here. Increases recoil quite a bit, but easy to control. Just pull down and to the right or to the left. So to counter the up and to the right recoil. Now, underbarrels, either use the Merc foregrip or the Ranger foregrip. Your choice. Ranger is probably my favorite for range over the Merc foregrip, just because it increases your stability, which is weapon sway, which is greatly beneficial to shooting targets at a range, since every single of these attachment basically increases your weapon sway. This will decrease it. I think I said that wrong. But, you know, it is what it is. It does decrease vertical recoil, which everyone likes to use the Commando foregrip on the M16. I don't know why. All this does is basically makes your gun wobble less and does not decrease vertical recoil very much. So I'd decrease your vertical recoil over your horizontal, so I meant to say horizontal recoil on this. Basically, the stick mags are vertical recoil and the Commandos horizontal recoil, which is side to side. So I'd use either the Merc on smaller maps or Ranger on larger maps. I use stipple grip tape just to decrease your aim down sight speed, as all of the other attachments. As for perks, I think there's only 3 perks you'd use in this game. Maybe a 4th. EOD and Ghost, I think, are a no-brainer for the first 2. If you're doing any sort of competitive or against competitive players. If you're playing noobs, use Kill Chain and Hardline, or Kill Chain and Score Point Man. But perk 3 is either Amped or Shrapnel. Battle Hardened doesn't do much to me at all. That's basically what I'd use. Also use C4 and Stim on all my classes unless you're playing Shipment. So I hope these classes helped you out and you have some new awesome classes that you love to run in the game. And that is our top 10 best guns in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.